The portal giveth and the portal taketh away. A couple Mountaineers hitting the portal on opening day of the transfer portal. Most notably DJ Thomas, man. This one hurts, this one stings, and this is one I did not see coming.
This is the Mountaineer Moment, your source for all things West Virginia football and basketball. From pregame to postgame coverage and breaking news, we've got you covered. Let's go.
Welcome in, everybody, to episode 183 of Mountaineer Moment. My name's Troy, and this is your source for all things West Virginia football and basketball. And this is opening day, opening week of the NCAA transfer portal, and things are already off to a crazy start as expected. But we do have one that wasn't on my radar, one that I wasn't expecting entering the NCAA transfer portal in DJ Thomas, Mountaineer freshman, who had some really, really great moments this year, played in every game this year as a true freshman. And he enters the portal here on the day after the national championship game. And so we'll talk about that. We'll give some, I don't know what happened, and I don't want to speculate either, but we'll talk a little bit about just some things and how we as Mountaineer fans can, you don't want to jump to conclusions, but just want to, view this thing from as many angles as possible and, kind of think about, well, what could have happened? We don't know what happened, but what could have happened? And then we'll end this episode kind of with the harsh reality of just the modern era of college basketball, with the fact that Mountaineers may be squaring straight in the face another full-blown roster turnover. So we'll talk about that. But before we get into anything DJ Thomas related, again, this is episode 183 of Mountaineer Moment, and we would love for you to join this growing community on YouTube. Man, we're approaching 600 subscribers, and it feels like not that long ago we were approaching 500 subscribers. So super thankful, super grateful, and I would love for you, if you have not yet made Mountaineer Moment a subscription on your feed, man, hit that subscribe button on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Amazon Music. We're available for audio listeners. But again, video coverage on YouTube, man, we're approaching 600 subscribers and would love to see us hit that number sooner rather than later and continue climbing, man. So thank you for subscribing in advance, and thank you if you've already done it. But again, transfer portal news and notes, man, we've already had a couple transfer portal related episodes as far as some potentials that West Virginia might be bringing in, and you can check out those episodes here. I actually have playlists on West Virginia basketball, West Virginia football on this very channel on YouTube, so you can click on that playlist and find the most recent episodes relating to some transfer portal conversation. But this is the first one we're dedicating to Mountaineers that are leaving, are departing. Jaden Forsyth, more recruited. I think he might have been a 4-star recruit who didn't see a lot of playing time. Obviously going to be eligible to redshirt, and he enters the transfer portal. Not surprising there, although I guess he could have stayed there. Certainly possible, not out of the realm of possibility. But one that is a surprise is freshman DJ Thomas, who came off of a freshman campaign that wasn't like, wow, this guy's amazing, but it was, wow, this kid's a freshman, and it would be nice to retain him coming into year 2 with Ross Hodge. And he enters the portal. I guess there's a possibility he couldn't come back, but he's entering the portal, and we haven't seen a guy enter the portal and come back, I don't think, in Mountaineer basketball. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Well, Emmett Matthews, you can think about him, but I mean in the same offseason, without going somewhere else, actually making the decision to come back to the gold and blue in that same offseason. We haven't seen that. But DJ Thomas was one not very long ago. We were sitting here on Mountaineer Moment talking about how important it would be, even important in regards to a jump start to the season in familiarity. Guy that's been here, done that. As a fan, we see a familiar face on the court for the first time in a few years, in consecutive seasons. And we were talking about that just on Saturday. DJ Thomas put up 20 points in 21 minutes, 9 of 14 shooting, and 2 of 5 from 3 in the semifinal win against Creighton in the college basketball crown. Sunday, he did not have a great game, 1 of 6 for 3 points against Oklahoma, but he had a monster game against Creighton with 20 points, and after that game, we're sitting here saying, man, you got to bring him back. That was one of the points on the outline here on Mountaineer Moment, was how important it would be to bring DJ Thomas back for year 2, and now he enters the transfer portal. And it's we'll get into some specifics on Thomas here in a moment, but as we look at this thing from a 30,000-foot view, which is really all we got, I hate to break it to you, but the story with DJ Thomas, he was a low 3-star recruit. I think the only D1 offer that he had was through Ross Hodge at North Texas. Ross Hodge accepts a coaching position a year ago at West Virginia, and he brings this, then high school senior with him to play Big 12 basketball in DJ Thomas. Comes to Morgantown and impressed to a point where, again, it's not like he came in Morgantown and averaged 15 a game and 8 rebounds, but the 6'7" forward freshman who was recruited to North Texas, and even that seemed like a bit of a stretch if he didn't have a lot of D1 offers or any D1 offers. He played for the West Virginia Mountaineers. He played on a team that finished in the top half of the Big 12. Scored 20 points in a postseason game. I get that it's not the NCAA tournament, but scored 20 points in a postseason game. And you look at that and you say, again, I would love to have him back. And the first day the transfer portal opens, it's announced, Tuesday night that he's entering the portal. So it's a shock. It hurts your, again, familiarity, and maybe, I think maybe the best tweet I saw on this, I forget who it was by, but it was just a comment from a West Virginia fan relating to the era of college basketball that we're in and the transfer portal. It was a comment on DJ Thomas and his intention to enter the portal, and something along the lines of, we all need to adapt even more so to this new era of college basketball. I'm adding a lot of words here, but we need to adapt to this new era of college basketball even more so than we have, right? We've grown accustomed to, this is the transfer portal. This is the era that we're in. Guys come and go, and it's insane, and so many guys in the portal and this and that. But he took it a step further in saying, which is a great point that we've all maybe realized internally, but we've never expressed it. But he brought up this point in saying that we need to just expect at this point that you're having these guys here, you create a roster every year, and then don't count on any of them being back. and now there's a couple seniors that are fighting for eligibility, and we'll see how that goes. I know Mountaineer Paul, Locked On West Virginia, has talked about that a little bit with Belo and Otter Huff. That would obviously be a bonus if those guys somehow, some way can play. But even with a freshman in DJ Thomas who, on paper, 30,000-foot view, Ross Hodge believed in him at North Texas, believed in him so much so to bring him with him to Morgantown, and now he's leaving. After a year where it's, there's, the I don't know, the quickest excuses you would think of for a player entering the portal would be playing time. Well, that wasn't a problem for DJ Thomas. He played in every single game. Averaged almost 17 minutes per game as a freshman off the bench. He was a key piece on this team. He had breakout performances. He had moments where he had times to shine, and he did shine. So it wasn't that he didn't play enough. It wasn't that he didn't have a coach that believed in him. Who knows, man? Who knows? And again, back to this tweet, right? The point is if a guy like DJ Thomas, you can't, and I don't want to say count on him, that's not the right wording. because these are kids, right? He's a freshman in college, and he's entitled to go wherever the heck he wants to go. To continue his college basketball career. More power to you, DJ. Like, go do what you want to do. But from a fan perspective, it is draining to again, now we're squaring in the face what's going to be close to like a whole new roster, if not entirely new roster, a complete overhaul like we saw in year one, but this time it's with the same coaching staff. And again, I get that our top 6 players were seniors, and so we knew this was coming in that sense, that we were going to have a whole new starting lineup. But we were looking forward to the possibility of even the slimmest of roster retention. And we haven't gotten it, and it's looking like, again, DJ Thomas out. Who knows what's going to happen with Amir Jenkins? Jaden Forsythe out. Jackson Fields, the potential for him to come back and get a medical red shirt. It's crazy. And I saw another thing, like West Virginia since the 21-22 season has had 57 players get minutes in a West Virginia uniform on the basketball court. 57 players since 21-22. 5 years, 57 players. Again, that's insane. You do quick numbers there. 11 new guys a season, just about. 11. You only play 5 on a court at once, right? Like, this is unprecedented, uncharted territory. And we're heading for another year of it, where it's going to be another overhaul. And again, I think that's part of the rub here, the struggle here, is because DJ Thomas, not the best player on this team, a guy that we love to see and said, man, he's a freshman, he's going to get better, can't wait to see him next year. We said that a lot, so that's one reason this hurts. And then 2 is just the fact that we're sick and tired of just been here, done that with this portal thing, man, and not being able to retain pieces from this roster and completely having to learn new faces, learn new skill sets, learn new everything year in, year out for this roster. But again, back to that tweet, maybe that just needs to be our expectation, and maybe I should take away the maybe to start that sentence. That just needs to be our expectation every single year, is that do not count on anybody, freshman to senior to 5th year to this to that. Don't count on anybody being back next season. Ever. Point blank, period. Then you can't get upset. And so shame on us for thinking, yeah, man, I think DJ Thomas is going to be back. I think he's going to be back. I think he's going to be back. Hope he's going to be back. And we can hope all day long, but he ain't coming back. And we thought he would. And it's a surprise. And again, as we discuss, well, what happened? What happened? I don't know. And I saw another tweet, like, there's a good chance we'll never know why DJ Thomas would want to move on. Does he want to be closer to home in Texas? Again, more power to he can do whatever he wants. It's just on the fan and the receiving end of this news, it hurts. And I think that should be, if you're happy about a player leaving, right, there's a problem, that you didn't want him there. And so my hope is DJ Thomas would feel not bashed by some that are, bashing him for this decision, but feel flattered in the sense that we want him to be in Morgantown, and we're hoping he would stay, and he's not. So again, real quickly, West Virginia is staring this thing in the face where you're looking at a potential overhaul again. And you have 3 high school recruits coming in, headlined by Miles Sadler. We've already talked about some names in the portal that West Virginia is targeting, and we're going to have another episode talking about just that very thing, again and again and again as this thing continues to crank up. But there's so many guys in the transfer portal, and we could sit here all day long and talk about what West Virginia needs to do. But what we do now with DJ Thomas in the portal, and Jaden Forsythe in the portal. There's even more spots that you are going to fill via portal. Open the episode saying the portal giveth and the portal taketh away. Now you got to go and get some pieces, and I'm encouraged, very much so. I am encouraged by the names that you're hearing, the rumors that are swirling, the guys that are going on visits, and we're going to talk about that even more in the next episode that we're going to have here on Mountaineer Moment, so check that one out too. That'll be out later today. There's lots of excitement, but it's also like, man, this era of college basketball, you get attached to some players, and the next thing you know, you got a whole new roster, year in, year out. So another thing to monitor, and we're going to monitor this from this point now until this point next year, is what Ross Hodge is going to do differently from year 1 to year 2 in terms of bringing in pieces that fit his strategy, fit his game plan, fit Ross Hodge kind of basketball. And again, with the year in the Big 12 under his belt now, he gets it, knows what it takes to win, won some games, lost some games you shouldn't have, won some games you shouldn't have. But now he knows what the needs are. So let's go get some pieces that can help you build a winner, help you get back to March Madness, help you fight not to be in the middle of the Big 12 like you were this year, fight to be in that, that next tier. Not saying Arizona or Houston or Iowa State right now, but that next tier of teams that are really, really good. And we've seen teams year after year do it via the portal. And West Virginia did it via the portal this year. They just came up, just short of March Madness. But, it's back to the drawing board. It's a start over once again. And I hope Coach Hodge and the staff are prepared. I hope, this recruiting trail and what they're doing, via the transfer portal is going to be successful. They're bringing in the right pieces they want that's going to fit the culture and going to help you win basketball games, because that's what's unknown right now, is what you're going to get from what this haul is going to bring in as far as wins and losses. But what we do know right now is you got to bring in a lot of pieces, and the numbers have added, we've added 2 to that number today with Forsythe and DJ Thomas departing. So we know that we have 2 more guys to pick up in the portal. It's just what it is. So time to get to work. Again, episode 183, Mountaineer Moment. My name's Troy. Hit that subscribe button for us, and we'll see you next time. Let's go Mountaineers.